Well, well, well. How you guys doing? It's the Jerry Bear. It's been, 3 weeks since I've done a Daily Rant recording? About that? Yeah. Today's date is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. So, welcome back, or should I say welcome aboard. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for indulging me for a little while. Um, so the topic of this Daily Rant recording this time around, basically, just to let people know that I haven't dropped off the face of the earth. I'm still here. I just haven't done a Daily Rant recording in such a long time. But everything here has been going pretty good for the most part. I appreciate the fact that you're continuing to watch my Sunday video updates now that they're being recorded live. It's a new experience. I enjoy going live on YouTube every Sunday. Every Sunday at 3 o'clock, that's when I go live on YouTube. That was my chosen time. Because if you're a YouTuber, if you're a content creator like I am, you can actually specify, you can pick and choose when you want to go live. You let your subscribers know that on this particular date, at this particular time, this is when I'm going live. So 3 o'clock is kind of my, it's kind of my chosen time. I wanted to go with 3 o'clock because it was, in the middle of the day, and, that's usually when most of the traffic that's when most people are on YouTube, like during the day, during the midday. So there you go. And I basically what my Sunday video updates are. It's just a review of the week, prior to that. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted to go live. I started doing live Sunday video updates this month and this year. So that way it doesn't, I don't have to go all day and wait for the video to upload to the YouTube channel after editing and, doing the necessary things that I do to, get the videos out there. So that way I just, this way going live, I record, hit the stop button and wait. And usually the videos will be up like within a day or so. So it's a lot, it's a lot better. It's more convenient. But yes, I go live on this particular YouTube channel every Sunday at 3 o'clock. So be sure to stop in, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell, then click on all, and you'll be notified when I'm going live. So, yeah, drop in, watch. Give my video a thumbs up if you want to, or a thumbs down, depending on if you're a lover or a hater, or just someone who likes to play childish games, or whatever. But the reason for my departure from the Sunday, or not from the Sunday video, see, I was talking about Sunday video updates, but now I'm going to talk about the Daily Rant. The reason for the departure from my Daily Rant recordings is I've just been busy. I haven't been faced with any legal trouble or anything like that. I've just been really busy. And I had gotten some responses about my latest poem called Knife. Matter of fact, I saw my buddy Adam yesterday at the apartment complex, and he says, "Oh yeah, I watched that video and it creeped me out, man, because the way you whispered just like this, And I told him, I said, "Oh, you mean the part where I said, sleep with one eye open tonight, And he says, "Yeah, that really creeped me out." I was like, "Huh?" And you kept flashing pictures of the knife, and I told him, I said, "Well, mission accomplished." That's exactly why I had written the poem, and I intentionally designed that poem video specifically for that reason. To, put the scare into some people. People are talking anyway, I might as well do something and do it worth a while, Let people know I'm done fucking around. And really and truly, I am. I'm done fucking around. I'm done playing games. Something interesting happened to me a couple days ago, and you guys are going to fucking laugh at this. So, I had an acquaintance when I was on Facebook. I met another parent of a childhood cancer warrior, and I got their email address and everything, and I emailed just to say hello, hope the family's doing well, yada yada yada, and I hope your son is doing okay. And the response I got, it's just fucking hilarious, and trust me, I laughed my ass off, and I'm still laughing at this. The response I got was, "Hi Jared, please stop emailing me for now, thank you." And it's like, wait a minute, stop emailing for now. Okay, so I'm going to find out what that's about. So civilly and cordially, I replied to the email, and I said, well, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but could you please elaborate a little bit on why you want me to stop emailing you? And she said, and this is, and as a mother of a cancer warrior, this is what she said, and it's fucking, just the contradiction alone makes me laugh. Her response was, well, there's a lot of craziness with the kids, and I just don't have the time to check daily emails. The contradiction right there. Right fucking there. I don't have the time to check daily emails. So, and I immediately caught onto that, and I said, well. How do you know I'm emailing you daily if you don't have the time? Because if you have the time, you would know that I'm emailing you daily. So you just contradicted yourself. Congratulations. And to this day, I'm still laughing about it because of just, it's absurd to me that people say the things they say and they don't think before they speak. They think it goes out, into the open, goes out into the public. And it's like, oh my fucking God. And I'm still laughing. I think it's a joke. I think it's funny. But I haven't emailed that person back. Actually, I did. All I said was, well, let me know when a time is convenient for me to email you again. Seems you don't check you don't check your inbox, or you don't like the fact that I quote unquote email daily, because you quote unquote don't have the time. Now, mind you, these are claims that she made. That's not what I'm saying. She said, I don't have the time to check daily emails. Well, if you don't have the time, how do you know that I'm emailing you daily? Da-da! Ba-dum! Yeah, there you go. So, that was fun. And like I said, I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing because people are so fucking stupid. They're so ignorant. But really, that's the only excitement that's been going on in my life. Everything else is actually, like I said, it's been going pretty smoothly. It's smooth sailing, no problems with anyone. I just basically keep to myself for the most part. I went to Owasso, I think it was last week, or a couple weeks. Let's see, today is the 28th. So, I was in Owasso. When was I in Owasso? It was... Oh no, it was this week, I think. It was earlier this week, I believe, or was it last? And that was last week. Fuck, I don't remember. But anyway, I was on Owasso, and I got me a new personal protection device. Because when I'm out and about by myself, I gotta have a way to defend myself, so had to take care of that business. And really, nothing else happening. I visited with family last week, and they're remodeling the inside of their house. Looks really nice. I've been texting with some people, some family and friends, and it's been nice. It's been nice. But, it does get tiring after a while when I have to be the one to reach out to people first. That shit is annoying and frustrating beyond comprehension. And, I think I'm going to just try to make it a habit to not reach out to so many people and let people wonder how I'm doing. I even considered stopping the Sunday video updates just to, do a little social experiment. Because I shouldn't have to be the first one to constantly reach out to people who claim to be my friends. Oh, I'm so busy, I don't have the time. Well, yeah, you do. You have plenty of time. If you can sit on fucking Facebook for hours, you have the time to email me. You have the time to respond to a text or whatever it is that you got to do. You have the fucking time. Period. And then they try to defend themselves by saying, well, I don't even go on Facebook that much anymore. But you're still on fucking Facebook, regardless, nonetheless. You're still on Facebook. Well, I don't go on it that much. What do you mean, no more than usual? Or what the fuck? You know, what are you referring to? But it's like, you know, it's really, I don't know, it's just stupid to me. I shouldn't have to beg to have a position in someone's life. So I had to really grow some thick skin and just say, fuck you guys. If you want to reach out to me, if you give two shits and a fuck to know how I'm doing, you'll reach out to me. You'll email me. Communication kind of goes both ways. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with anyone texting me or emailing me or, you know, because I'm usually the one doing all the emailing and texting. And, you know, you guys can seek me out for a change. You could look for me and ask me how I'm doing. It just gets to be a joke after a while when you have to literally beg and plead for someone to talk to you, and they act like they're so busy. They're so busy. I understand people who have kids. Yes, it's a busy life because now we're in the middle of a pandemic. You've got homeschooling. You've got you got to cook meals. You got to, you know, make sure your kids do their homework. You're a parent. You have, you know, a family that you have to take care of, and I get it. I get it, but don't lie to me and say, well, I just don't have the time. You mean you don't have the time that doesn't require Facebook? Because that's really what it is. When people tell me I don't have the time, that's code word for I'm an inept motherfucker who has no people skills, and all I know to be the case now is Facebook. I hate Facebook. I've already had one friend ask me when I'm coming back. The answer is never. Facebook is a thing of the past for me. Just like childhood cancer awareness, advocacy is a thing of the past for me. You can get bent on that. I'm not coming back to it. I could care less about any of it anymore. But the people that I still talk to, all I'm saying is, you know, you can make an effort to reach out to me every once in a while. You know, surprise me with an email or a text message and say, hey, how's it going, Jared? You know, long time no see, haven't heard from you in a long time. Well, it'd be nice once in a while. I get sick of being the person who's always constantly checking on everybody else. No one's checking on me, I guarantee you that. I mean, I am talking to a woman, and, you know, we've been texting one another on and off, and, you know, I've known her family for years. My dad has known her family for years. My mom has known the family for years. But there's this particular woman and I, we've been talking and texting, and, you know, we've been keeping in contact, and she's a little older than I am. And she's got a grandson, and it's been great. So I haven't met the grandson yet. I know who her kids are, but I haven't met the grandson. But maybe one day, you know, we'll keep talking, and we'll get to know. Well, I mean, she knows who I am, so I guess there's really not much getting to know because we've known each other for years. So there's no real big issue with that. But it's still nice to talk to somebody. It's still nice to know that someone cares. I think it's safe to say the pandemic has really brought out the best and worst in a lot of people. It really has. You know, it's just like, you know, when I was calling out certain individuals in the childhood cancer world, they're like, oh, Jared has nothing better to do than to attack. And well, no, this has been an ongoing situation for years, the things I've been talking about regarding childhood cancer. You know, you get people, you give them a little bit of airtime or a little bit of, you know, attention, and they let it go straight to their fucking heads. And now what they do, they make a career out of, using people's kids as pawns to bolster their ego. Tom Mitchell, Mike Tyson, Mike Gillette, Ronnie Duvall. The list goes on and on and on and on. It's the same people over and over again. Nothing better to do. And these people who, they reach out to me or even my friends, I just don't see why you got such a problem with. Well, I've got a big problem. It's a huge problem. Because these people got to realize that it's not about them. It's about us. If you're going to refer to it as a community, which I don't, but if you're going to refer to it as a community, you need to start behaving like it is. Well, they didn't want that. They didn't want me included in their so-called little whatever, and I could give a fuck less, really. But don't call it a community when you're not behaving like it is. So, I mean, there's a video, I think, of I'm doing I'm doing this for the whatever it is, there's actual videos. And it's like, why do you need all the attention and popularity? You don't need it. You just don't fucking need it. And they let it go to their heads and just real losers. They got nothing else going on. So, but anyway, enough of that. I've been doing pretty good though. I've all things considered, there's been a lot going on, but all things considered, guys, I've been doing pretty good. No issues. Like I said, when I do get out, I'll go to my uncle's house and visit with him and the kids, visit with my cousins. Or, like I was at a friend's house yesterday at the apartment complex, and I ran into Adam, and we talked for a few minutes, and it was nice. It was really nice. I enjoyed myself. I haven't been up there in a while. I don't frequent the apartment complex as much as I used to. Like I said, basically it's just because I'm keeping to myself, trying to find myself and giving myself a chance to reflect and to think about things and to not let certain things and people bother me so much. I've been doing some writing in the journal. We just had a snowstorm come through. We had like 3 inches or 4 inches of snow on the ground, which was nice. We needed the snow. It was time that we got some snow. So, I mean, it was nice. It's going good. I mean, we're hanging in there. Dad's doing okay. Amy's doing okay. And last night I bumped into another friend of mine that I hadn't seen in such a long time. They used to work at Dee's Party Store in Oakley. And last night at Frank's Supermarket I bumped into them, got their cell phone number. And so hopefully we'll keep in touch that way too. But like I said, you gave me, and this is the thing, you give me your number, and when I reach out to you, you don't respond. Then it comes to the point where, what the fuck was the point of you giving me your number? Right? If you have no intentions of ever calling me or texting me, why the fuck do I have your number? I don't get that. I don't get it. But I mean, I'm happy to have the number because, that off chance that they have a chance to reply to a text message. And, oh, great, happy to hear from you. Great to see you. But most of the time, I mean, like I said, it's like I have to dig and claw my way just to get to people. And that sucks. I don't think that's fair. They always jump to this excuse that, I never have the time. Yeah, I bet you do. Because, see, you've got Facebook, and that takes up a good chunk of your time. So you can project your fakery. And you've got enough people who are gullible and feeble and stupid enough to buy into it. Social media really killed people skills. It killed the way we interact with each other. I've said this numerous times. I don't miss it. I'm never coming back to it. And that's a promise. I am never coming back to it. And there's people who are still, to this day, trying to get me to come back. They're like, oh, Jared, we miss you. It'd be much better if you came back to Facebook. I come back to Facebook and only have one friend. I mean, you are my friend and I love you dearly, but, I have no real reason or intention or desire of ever returning to Facebook. I am totally fucking done with social media. Totally done. That's like off the fucking table for me now. I get my life back. I get to reclaim a little bit of my sanity. Well, I guess you could say most of my sanity, because Facebook was driving me fucking nuts when I was on there. And I don't have to worry about who's going to stay in my life and who isn't. And, I don't have to beg and plead for people to stay in my life. I don't chase after people anymore. That's something I got to work on. And when I don't text them anymore, when I finally, abruptly stop reaching out to them, they're going to wonder where I've been, what happened to me. Nothing happened to me. It's just this communication thing kind of goes both ways. When you have free time, you can reach out to me. You got time for everybody else, but you can't take 2 seconds to text me or email me. I mean, that shouldn't be a lot to ask. I don't ask for very much in life. But if I don't have actual physical human interactions with people, or through email or text message, I'll just have to figure out a way to carry on by myself and just kind of do my own thing. And speaking of physical human interactions, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is planning on opening establishments on February 1st, which is on Monday, this coming Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. But, however, there's been a new strain of the COVID-19 at U of M in Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County. So who knows what's going to happen after that. I know she was on television the other day talking about the progress of the pandemic, how we're doing in the state of Michigan. I haven't heard any news about her expanding, the COVID-19 lockdowns or anything like that. So maybe she's going to start to open things up. She's going by the science and the data, which is a smart thing to do. It's what we should always be doing, is going by the evidence. And that's what she's doing, and I'll commend her for that. So we'll see how that goes. The number, I was even watching the news last night. I don't really watch the news all that much anymore because it's all depressing fucking news. But there was some good news to report, and that is the numbers here in Michigan are starting to decline, which is a good thing. We don't need any more COVID pandemic numbers. We definitely need to flatten this curve. And if that information is accurate, so be it. I want to see this pandemic go away. I want to, get some kind of normalcy back into our lives, where we don't have to wear the fucking masks, where we don't have to constantly be afraid of each other's shadows, so to speak. Oh, you have a cough, you got to be 6 feet away. It's ridiculous. I just want this to be done and over with. I want to be able to hug people and feel the interactions between, me and other people. I want to feel the intimacy and the love and the warmth. I want to feel that again. And this pandemic really killed that. And that leads to depression. It really leads to a depression. And, I've been feeling some kind of way. I don't want to say depressed, but maybe somewhat down and out, melancholy. I did get some not so good news about a very good buddy of mine. A very good buddy of mine. He's a Wilms warrior. And I've been keeping in contact with his grandmother and his mother. And it's not looking so good for him. It's not looking so great for for the child in question. His cancer has spread throughout his body, and the prognosis is not pretty. His doctor had given him 7 to 10 days left of his life, so he's dying, and I've been having a hard time with that. Just because I'm not an advocate anymore doesn't mean that I don't have a heart. And that's one thing that most people need to understand about me. They know so much, they think they know so much about me, they say all kinds of horrible, horrific shit about me. But what they don't know and what they won't admit to is that I actually give a damn. I actually truly give a fuck about people. I always have. And knowing that this kid does not have much longer to live, he doesn't have much time left on this planet, it breaks my fucking heart. It hurts me. I'm dying with him. It's just not fair. Kids don't deserve this shit. And my survivor guilt is wow. Indescribable. And I don't know what else to say other than I'm hurt, I'm sad. My heart is just completely shattered into billions of pieces, and I'm going to try to maintain my composure because I'm really just upset. I'm hurt by this because I sure love that kid. He sent me a drawing in the mail. It's a heart. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. It was a happy birthday wish that he sent me last year. He drew me a heart and says, "I love you," and I'll always love you too, little buddy. Always. Always. But yeah. Other than that, guys, everything is going good. Everything's going well. I'm still alive out here. I'm still kicking, still doing my thing, still, living every day, living life to its absolute best, living life to its fullest. It's not the perfect life, it's not the best life, but hey, it's life, and I'll take it any way I can get it. And I'm hanging in there. That was change that you heard in the background. I've got some change here on my desk I got to put away. I save all my pocket change. All my pocket change. It adds up, definitely. And, it helps me because, like, I can take a bunch of quarters, like 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks in quarters, and, exchange it for cash at the bank, or, I can take a combination of quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, and just put it in a baggie, take it into the bank, redeem it for actual cash. And cool, I've got extra dough to play with. I got a little extra money in my pocket, which is nice. I know lots of people who save their change. I've been saving my pocket change for a long time. My dad, he's got one of those big what do you call them? Those big water softener, those big water jugs, and he puts all of his loose change into that, all of his pocket change into that, and he saves all his silver, all his pennies, just like I do. I save all my silver, all my pennies, even dollar bills. Like sometimes I'll just take dollar bills and I'll put them away, and I'll let it build up, and then I'll exchange the dollar bills for larger currency, larger denominations, I should say. It's all the same thing. It's all the same currency, but for larger denominations of bills, which is nice. But, So I'm saving change. That's what you heard in the background here. All these quarters. Yeah. So there's that. And yeah, I'm just hanging in there. It's like when all the shit was going down, kind of reiterating a little bit about, an individual that I had run-ins with. I actually received an email from one of my friends saying, well, I was wondering about you, but I had to email them first. Well, I was wondering about you. Well, if you were wondering about me, then why didn't you text me? Why didn't you email me? Why didn't you reach out to me if you were so concerned? I've been out here. I'm not dead yet. I'm still alive. But I think for the most part, I'm getting fed up. I'm just getting so tired of everything. I get tired of trying to make friends or to meet new people and try to be buddy with everybody, because it just, you find out later on in the long run who your real friends are, and you have to find out the hard way sometimes, but it's actually a good thing that they let their true colors show, because you don't want to spend the rest of your life or your time thinking that these people had you in their best interests, when in fact they've been fucking lying to you and they've been deceptive and engaging in sophistry this entire time. You want people who are going to love you for you and accept you for you. And as a matter of fact, I do have friends like that. I have friends who are always willing to talk about things that matter to me instead of brushing it off and saying, well, no time for the bullshit and blah, 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 blah. Because there's people I can't talk to. They won't hear me out. They don't want to hear it, so to speak. Well, if you're my friend, you should be willing enough to listen to what I have to say. Don't call me your fucking friend if you're going to fraternize with the enemy. Don't call me your friend if you're going to defend and make excuses for people who are deceptive and disgusting and predatory. I had that conversation with someone who I used to speak with, and we no longer communicate because I told her that, I can't believe I wasted all this time on a phony fucking cause. And that's really what it is. There's people that you talk to, they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to listen to it. Or when you tell them, this is how this person was treating me, and instead of saying, well, that's a bunch of fucking bullshit that they treat you that way, what do I get in return? Well, they haven't treated me bad. They haven't treated me in any particular way. Okay, good for you, but we're not talking about you. It's the fact that they would treat anybody like this. That's the point. What is it about Tom Mitchell that you can't be disappointed in him directly? You can be disappointed at the fact that he's treating me like crap all day long, all you want. Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do. But what is it about him that you cannot be disappointed in him in particular? That's the point I'm trying to make. It's no different if you're Ronnie Duvall or Mike Tyson. And there's all kinds of shit against Mike Tyson. All kinds. But what I do know is that there's a lot of dick-sucking and ass-kissing in the childhood cancer world. Absolutely. Everybody's stroking each other's dick. Everybody's kissing each other's ass. Eventually, you got to pay the piper. Sometimes you have to suck a dick and kiss some ass to get a little bit of you-know-what around here. And that's what's happening. And it's been happening for years. And when they discovered that I'm not someone who's going to kiss ass or suck dick or anything like that, that's when they notice that, oh, this Jared is not going to comply with our way of thinking. He's not going to mold his lifestyle and his opinions around the preset opinions that have already been construed by us. No fucking thank you. You can scratch with that and fuck off. But I don't know. They're so full of themselves that they act as if they are the purveyor of moral superiority and self-righteousness, that they try to lord that over on everybody, like they're saviors or something, I guess these people are like, I don't know, God. I don't know. Oh, and speaking of God, I'm kind of glad I mentioned that. Well, I went over to this friend's house, and this guy, I mean, he means well, he's a nice guy, but he's also full of shit. And he was telling me stuff like, oh yeah, UFOs are real, and space aliens are going to attack and invade. All this just crazy, obnoxious bullshit. The kind of shit that only a person who's hitting a water bong would say, like, oh yeah, we're being invaded by space aliens, and they're coming down to get us, someone's always watching us, and I saw a laser shoot in the sky. You're a fucking moron, dude. And well, I saw the video where this thing went inside this box. Okay, then show me the fucking video. You do realize that you can doctor images. Are you really this stupid that you don't know that? You don't realize that you can doctor up images? And he's one of those, he's a conspiracy theorist, and he doesn't believe that this is right or that's right. He was trying to preach the Bible to me, and I told him, I really don't give a fuck, dude, And I tried to be civil about it, and I walked away as he was preaching how good and truthful the Bible is. Well, I'm an atheist, dude. I don't give a fuck to listen to you preach to me about the Bible. And don't come to my house and preach the Bible to me, because I'm going to tell you, you can take your Bible and shove it. I don't care about what the Bible says. I don't care what your God thinks I should be doing or shouldn't be doing. I don't fucking care. Because according to the Bible, your God is a disgusting, vengeful bastard who allows owning people as slaves. He condones slavery in Exodus 21. It's written in the Bible. Now, why would a loving, caring God allow for that kind of behavior? Well, any loving, caring God and a God, an all-knowing God, should know that owning people as property is fucking wrong. So maybe this Jesus guy is just an incompetent jackass. And, I'm an atheist in regards to all religions, and I'm not saying that there is no God. I'm saying that there's not evidence that would convince me that a God exists or once existed, according to the way he's described in the Bible. So, that's why I'm an atheist. And a lot of people get freaked out by that when I say I'm an atheist. And it's like, oh my God, he's an atheist, he doesn't believe in God. Well, he's not one of us. He's just a bad person by nature. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And you do realize that there are atheists out there who are really fucking cool people. Atheists are tired of being subjugated and belittled and told that because they don't believe in some stupid batshit crazy idea anymore, that they've let go of the stone, that they're, they don't like to be marginalized. So they don't believe in a God. So what? What if your child was drowning? What if your child was being abused and the person who saved or rescued your child was an atheist? Are you going to belittle them because they're an atheist, or are you going to be more happy and thankful and grateful that someone was there at the right time, at the right moment, protecting and saving your child from harm? You gotta think about that. You don't need a God to do good things in the world. And it had taken me, I think I knew I was an atheist back in 2012, but I was too afraid to admit it. Because I had this fear of hell. Like I had cold chills coming over me, like, oh God, what if there is a God and I don't believe in him? Like, I'm going to hell, But listen, I don't believe in hell either. I used to say I don't believe in hell because we're living in it. Well, that's true. Life is a bitch, and we all know this, but It doesn't make sense to me that a God who is loving and caring and all wise, it does not make sense to me that a God that you claim gave me a brain to use the right way would punish me for using it the way it should be used. So if I don't believe in an afterlife, there's no evidence for an afterlife, there's no evidence of eternal torment, so why would this God be mad at me? If anybody should be mad at anybody, it should be us mad at this God that we don't know, we have no evidence that a God ever existed. And I don't throw this in people's faces. I'm not like a Jehovah's Witness where I'm showing up at people's doorsteps and saying, "Oh, please come and join our mission and get involved." And I'm an atheist. I don't shove this down anyone's throat. I don't come to people and say, "I don't believe in God. I don't believe in all that crazy stuff. I don't believe that owning people is moral. I don't care if it's written in a Bible or where it's written. I don't care if it's written in the New York Times. I don't care. Owning people as property is fucking wrong, and it's immoral. That's why slavery was abolished in the United States. And that's why we preserve history. It's exactly why we preserve history. Because of the fact that we don't need history to repeat itself, and we have to teach the newer, younger generations of children that this is what we were doing. These are the atrocities that we were engaged in and committed to, and we can't do this anymore. We were wrong for doing it. That's why we're teaching it to you. This is why we're teaching it, so we don't continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Because if you're not going to teach the history of what happened, you're going to get the same result in the future. We can't have that. That's why history is taught in school. And my Uncle Tim's like, "Oh, we don't need to learn history." Yes, we most certainly fucking do need to learn history. Absolutely, we need to learn it. Well, the history was in the past. Yes, very good. Thank you for that brilliant observation. Yes, history is in the past. That's why it's called history. But without it, you're going to have a whole entirely different generation of kids, people, not knowing the kinds of atrocities that we were engaged in centuries prior to them coming into the earth, coming into existence. We have to preserve history. Period. We have to have that. Without it, you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. I mean, yeah, racism is still sadly alive and well in America, and it makes me absolutely fucking sick. But I mean, I guess it's always going to be there, and I'm not making excuses for it. I think it's disgusting. It's awful. And I would like to see racism go away. But the slavery bit and the things that happened back then, people want eliminated because it was just too, it was too raw and too real and too disgusting and brutal and gory. That's exactly the reason why we need to keep it. That's all the more reason to preserve the history. You guys don't understand. That's why we need to preserve it. We need to teach future generations of how fucking awful it was in those times, so that way history is not doomed to repeat itself. Listen, if you ever get fortunate enough to read my journals, and I made plenty of mistakes in my journals through the years, plenty of mistakes. I've probably written things I shouldn't have written. Actually, I know I've written things I shouldn't have written. I've said things I shouldn't have said. I've made lots of mistakes. Now, it would be easy for me to go back and edit all of the things I've said, but I choose not to do that because of the fact that I can reflect on my ignorance about a lot of things. I can see how stupid I was for even writing something or saying something, and I can profit from that. I can learn, and it's like I was stupid then, but now I'm smarter. And you're going to see, like if you follow my journals from from 1999 forward up until 2021, you will see the progression. You will see how I evolved as a writer. You will see that. There's evidence of that. So I definitely don't want to go back and edit or change or even erase the history. I don't want to do that. That's what I wrote, and that's how I felt at the time. Whether I was correct or incorrect for feeling the way I felt, that was where I was. That was where my mind was at that time. And I am not that same person anymore. That's the point, okay? I've evolved as a human being, as a writer, as a person who eventually at some point had to let his balls drop and say, you know what, I'm fucking done being treated this way. That's why I get on these daily rant recordings, and yeah, I've talked a lot of shit about a lot of people, no more than they've talked shit about me on Facebook. No more than anybody talks shit about me anywhere, not just on Facebook, but anywhere. You know? And they don't take it back. They don't apologize. They don't say, well, you know what, I was sorry for doing that, or I was wrong for doing that, and I'm sorry that I said it. You're never going to get that. Because somehow, some way, Jared Fuller became public enemy number one. Jared Fuller's such a bad guy, and we're just waiting to catch him on a technicality so that way we can hold it against him. He said this, or he said that, or he did this, or he did that. Fuck off. Fuck off. Okay? That's what I say about that. But, you know, that's how like I said, I've said a lot of things I shouldn't have said. I've written a lot of things I shouldn't have written. But I'm not that person anymore. I am here today in 2021, and my goal is to do better tomorrow than I did yesterday. You know? My goal is to only get better, to improve. That's all I can do. All you can do is get better. You know? You make a mistake, you learn from it, and you move on. You build, you grow as a person. And that's how I see it. And when you preserve history, it's part of growth and change in our country. That's why we preserve it. And people who they're more offended by, we have a statute of slave owners or whatever. Yes, we're not celebrating them. We're not praising them. We're memorializing them for the atrocities that they were committed to and engaged in. And when generations of children learn about what happened back in colonial times, back in the olden days, they're going to think, you know what, I don't want to be that person. That's wrong. We don't own people. That we don't own people as slaves. I can remember going to a museum while I was in Louisiana a couple summers back. And we went to this plantation. It was called Oak Alley Plantation, I think, if memory serves. I think that's the name of it. And they actually had the beds, the wooden bench kind of beds, and the chains, the cuffs that the slaves would have to be chained to. And I don't know if they were handcuffs. I can't remember. I honestly can't, but I'm pretty sure there were chains. So they were chained down. They had to cook and clean, and they had it rough. We preserve that so that way we're not making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. And I was really just, it was a chilling experience. It's like, how could people be so fucking rotten? How could that happen? How did we ever get to that point? But now we're not at that point anymore. We've moved on. We've grown. We've abolished slavery. That's, we've moved on from that, and that's something to be very proud of. And I see, when I watch the news, like I was in Lansing at the state capitol and I filmed a Black Lives Matter protest, and it was like something I had never witnessed before. I mean, there was not a lot of people. It wasn't like a massive Black Lives Matter protest, but nonetheless, it was a protest. And there were people standing outside with signs and flags, and they were trying to impart a very crucial but very important message. They were taking a stand for what they believed in. It was a peaceful protest, which they are allowed to do. It was on government property, which they are allowed to protest on government property. It was on the front lawn of Capitol Building in Lansing. And it was peaceful. I had never actually witnessed something like that. Not up close. I've always seen it on television, but I never actually got in the mix of what was going on. And I had my camera with me, my GoPro. I think I had my GoPro camera with me at the time. And I was filming everything. I filmed a Lansing police vehicle. They let it run. You know, there wasn't anyone sitting in the vehicle, and they let it run. And that I for some reason I remember that part well. But it was like something I never witnessed before. You know, it was something different. And what it is, it's people who are, and it wasn't just black people out there. It was white people. There were a couple of Hispanic people out there. So these are people who really and truly give a fuck, and they were out there trying to impart a very important message. I don't believe in going the violent way, because if you're going to be violent, violence is what you're going to get in return. That's it. You know? That's exactly what you're going to get. But if you're someone who wants to peacefully protest and say, this is my message, this is what I want, you know, this is what I want to say, this is what I got to say, this is what needs to be said, then you're going to be fine. You'll be fine, and everything will go well. But there's a lot of things in this country that we need to fix. A lot of problems in this country that we need to fix. We need to get over profiling and stereotyping and judging people, judging situations. You don't even have the information in front of you to know what the fuck you're talking about. There's so many issues happening in our country. There's so many different problems, and we need to strive to overcome that. I know we're never going to get it perfect. You're never going to get it perfect 100%. You're never going to reach that point, because you can't get everybody to think and feel the same way. You can't. But there are more peaceful, better ways of handling situations than engaging in violence and threatening to kidnap elected officials, which, matter of fact, one of the guys who was threatening to kidnap my governor here in Michigan, he agreed to cooperate with authorities. He agreed to comply with all orders. He agreed to participate in the investigation. He's planning on pleading guilty to plotting to kidnap the governor. So that's where we're at. One of the people, anyway, that I know of. So, I mean, I'm not going to give the guy too much credit, because after all, he did fuck up. I mean, you know you're going to get caught. You know that something is going to happen. You can't threaten to kidnap and even murder elected officials. You just can't do that. There's a guy from Owasso, a 65-year-old guy from just not even 20 miles away. He's looking to do 20 years in prison because of the fact that he threatened to take out, and when I say take out, I mean murder, some people in corroboration with President Biden. So you can't be doing stuff like that. You just can't do stuff like that. You know you're going to get caught. And he was making threats on social media of all places. Yes, because everybody goes to Facebook. Everybody goes to Facebook. And but to go on Facebook and to threaten President Biden or anyone who works even closely related to President Biden, and you're asking for trouble. You are sticking your foot into the lake of alligators, and you're gonna get your foot bitten off. Eventually, you're gonna have your leg ripped off. I mean, you really got to be stupid enough to even think to do something like that. And I say the word stupid very softly because I don't know if that particular individual has mental issues, so I don't want to write him off as, just a horrible human being, because he may very well have mental issues. We don't know. But to even think of doing that, to even get it in your head and follow through with that's stupid. That's the stupid part. And perhaps that's how I should have worded it. But, I mean, either way, it's obnoxiously arrogant to think that you're going to do things like that and get away with it. I mean, I don't know what planet you're from. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but you do understand that there are dire consequences for threatening elected officials. But like I said, I don't want to give that guy too much credit. The other guy who admitted to being involved in the kidnapping plot of Governor Whitmer, I'm not going to give him a lot of credit because, he still did it. He still fucked up. He knows he fucked up. That's why he's agreeing to comply with the investigation and to comply with all orders. But yeah, it's kind of crazy here, I guess. I mean, not for me personally. I'm not personally affected by it, but nonetheless, I mean, it is really, it's just something else. The way people go about doing their, conducting their business and thinking they're not going to get caught. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I've been here for nearly an hour, and it's been a wonderful daily rant recording. I really enjoy doing this. I know I'd say it's been about 3 weeks since I've actually done one of these daily rant recordings. It's going on 1:30 in the morning, and there's all kinds of there's always something going on, and I don't always write about it. I don't always talk about it here in daily rant recordings, but rest assured, there's always something going on, brother, and it's not all bad. There's a lot of good happening in the world. There's a lot of bad. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of, you kind of got to decide what's good and what's bad. You have to kind of go through and cherry pick the things that are good, and you have to decide which things are bad, and vice versa. You have to comb through and make decisions. There's always that going on. You have to decide if the ends justify the means, which sometimes they do, but not always. I'm doing pretty good, other than the news I received that I mentioned about my little buddy. My heart is just, I don't even know if I have a heart beating in my chest, because there's like a pain in my chest knowing that this beautiful kid, he has not much time left. And it just breaks my fucking heart. It really it hurts more than anything, knowing that this beautiful child is going to be leaving us here very soon. And I've been keeping in contact with his mother and his grandmother, and they're giving me updates on his condition, but I'm sure I'll be coming back with another daily rant recording talking about if something should happen to him. I'm sure I'll come back and talk about it. But I sure love that kid. He's a sweet kid, and the family is just amazing. I don't know. It's just not fair, and it really isn't. It's not fair when any child has to go through that. They aired a a segment on ABC 12 the other night about Braden Buddy Boy Miller. He's a local child who passed away from DIPG. They had I honestly, I don't know what they were talking about. My television was muted. But I could see his father talking into the camera. And that's when I texted his dad, because I got his dad's cell phone number, and I said, man, I sure miss that kid so much. I sure miss him. And he says, that makes two of us, Jared. He says, that makes two of us, buddy. And he was crying and getting choked up in the interview on camera with ABC 12. And, like I said, just because I'm not an advocate anymore, I don't consider myself an advocate for childhood cancer cures anymore. I just want for people to know that I still give a fuck. I still have a heart. I still care. I don't like to see people hurt. There's too much of it going on in the world today. There's too much pain and agony and hatred and just people who don't care. They've lost their sense of humanity. They've lost their compassion. They have lost their sense of love and dignity and respect. We live in that kind of a world, guys. We live in that kind of a world now. I just wish people would do things for the sake of being a human, instead of getting the constant pat on the fucking back for every little thing they do. It's disingenuous to do that, just specifically for the attention. People can argue this with me all day long. Don't ever fucking help me if you're just going to turn around and use my downfall as a way for you to make yourself look good. You're a fucking loser if you do that. You are a cocksucker if you do that. You are the lowest form of life on the fucking planet. I don't care if what you did was a good thing. You don't use my downfall, my calamity, as a way to make yourself look good. You don't fucking do that. It's a bunch of horseshit. You're not going to use me as a fucking pawn in your little, see what I did to help someone else better their life? Look at me because I'm so fucking important. I'm so fucking special. You can go scratch with that, because I don't want you having anything to do with me if you're just going to brag about it later, if you're going to throw it in my face later, if I don't agree with you on something. I really don't care. I wish people would just find a sense of humanity within themselves, that they don't need attention for every little fucking thing they do. And someone should pass that message on to Tom Mitchell and Milk Tyson and Ronnie Duvall. The three biggest narcissistic fucking idiots I've ever known in my life. Someone should pass on the memo to them that, it's not about you. Don't call it a community if you're not going to treat it like a community. You don't get to pick and choose who you want in your little quote-unquote community, because community means that it's everybody involved. Even if you don't like someone like me, where I don't give a fuck and I'll just say what's on my mind, I'll say what I think, I'll say what I feel, I have zero fucks to give. You don't have to like me, and you don't have to agree with a lot of things I do or a lot of things I say, but whether you like it or fucking not, I'm a child of cancer survivor. I know quite a bit about this lifestyle. So, put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. That is a daily rant recording. First time in about 3 weeks. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to try my best to get some more content uploaded to my YouTube channel. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you in whatever content that I decide to upload to my YouTube channel. I did recently upload a video called Michigan Snow. There is no audio. I turned the volume down on that particular video just because, I don't know, just to experiment a little bit. But there's a lot of footage of us, my dad and I, we're traveling through the snow because we just got hit with a snowstorm. And yeah, so I hope you had a chance to check that out. Be sure to like, subscribe, give my videos a thumbs up, although my video's not monetized, or my channel's not monetized, but give my videos a thumbs up. And although I really don't care either way if you do or not, but that's just kind of it's a YouTube thing, that's kind of the game that us content creators have to live by, like, subscribe and share or whatever. So that's about it for now, guys. I'll catch you on the next bit of content. So adios, arrivederci, hasta luego, and toodaloo!